as she watched and turned back around to face her, perplexion written all across his little freckled face. For the whole of summer, that spot had been theirs. At no point, even at the peak of regatta week, had they turned up to find the crime of all crimes committed: someone else's towel. But today there was. 2, to be precise. One great big luxurious one that looked like it should be rolled into a glamorous curl on some shishi hotel bed, and one covered with little foxes' faces next to a small matching bag. Cute, but not theirs. Sam looked at her for answers, and she was tempted to pick them up and place them just over there, a couple of feet away. Or perhaps she could chuck them behind the cluster of boulders piled up near the entrance to the cave. Or, if she could persuade Sam to close his eyes, she could peg it down to the shoreline super fast, throw them out to sea, and then come back, and pretend she didn't know what had happened. Although, of course, she would not do either. Instead, she would use it as time to educate Sam about public spaces and the need to share them, no matter how personal they felt, how much you saw them as yours. "It's okay, Mum. We can just go the other side of the stream." "Plan, Sam. Like the way you're thinking." Okay, so the 4-year-old didn't need the lesson. That would just be her. The two tiptoed through the little stream, their mouths opening as the cold of the water hit their toes and made them dance through, making high-pitched owing noises before laying their towels down in the not quite as nice but really not remarkably different spot. Sam immediately started stripping down to his trunks and gently lowered himself onto his own towel, pulled on his beach shoes carefully, and then jumped to attention. "Okay, I'll go find some stones." He looked longingly at the slate patches on the beach, nestling next to the boulders, the other side of the strange towels. "Do you think they'd mind?" "I'm sure they wouldn't. Go on, I'll keep my eyes peeled. And anyway, you know the rule. Grab the moment." Sam liked to build a couple of slate towers once he had got himself changed. He was a funny little thing, fond of routine and order, set in his ways. He would start with the tower, then they'd go down for a paddle, starting in the stream and heading to the shoreline, where they'd jump waves and slowly get a little deeper each time. He was happy past his knees now, but Sylvie was hoping to get him in a little further. He had swimming lessons at the leisure centre in Roscarrock, but the difference between the safety of a pool and the wildness of the waves, even on a mill pond smooth day, was great. The swimming pool wasn't salty brine, riddled with seaweed and probable sea monsters. As she watched him collect his first slate, she saw a man approach. Tall, imposing even from a distance, his dark head bowed as he chatted away to a girl who looked about Sam's age and was leaping gazelle-like at his side. They were coming around the cave mouth and heading towards the towels. She quickly diverted her gaze as he looked up, but she felt his eyes sweep across and dismiss her. Good. The last thing she wanted was interaction. This was her and Sam's special bit of the day. The time when she didn't worry about money, or next steps, or moving out from the farm and letting Tom move his girlfriend in, which she was fairly sure was his plan. Sam, seeing the arrival of the towel owners, had thrown his usual caution to the winds, and instead of carefully bringing back 1 or 2 slates, was clasping 3 bits to his chest, with 1 more tucked under his chin. His eyes were wide open as he made his getaway, beach shoes saving him from freezing toes in the stream as he headed purposefully back to his mother. Looking at the panic on his face, she was fairly sure he didn't have a career in burglary in his future. Phew! He clattered the slates at her feet as he let out an over-expressive sigh of relief. That should do for a minute. He flicked a quick look over his shoulder as the two approached. Good job. We can get more in a minute if you want. Let's see how we go. As the man reached his towel, she experienced a jolt of familiarity that made no sense, but was there all the same. Quiet and determined and very present. She couldn't